हेलो व्यूअर्स, अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम बैक टू रिफ्लक्स। स्वागत है आप लोगों का फिर से एक नए वीडियो पर। इस प्लेलिस्ट में या सीरीज़ में इसका नाम है गेट PYQ सॉल्यूशंस। और इस बार इस वीडियो में आज मैं गेट 2024 इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग का पावर सिस्टम सब्जेक्ट से क्वेश्चंस का सोल्यूशन देने वाला हूँ। आई एम गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड द डिटेल्ड सॉल्यूशंस टू ऑल द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ गेट 2024 EE इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग पावर सिस्टम्स। So stay tuned and please watch till the end for proper details and solution of each and every question. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. Let's start with the first question, which is the question number 19 in the master question paper released by IISc Bangalore, which is as follows. The question was like, question number 19, single line diagram of a power system is given. सिंगल लाइन डायग्राम दिया हुआ है पावर सिस्टम का, जो कि कुछ इस प्रकार है. जनरेटर इज देयर, बस इज कनेक्ट टू जनरेटर. Okay, so this is the single line diagram given. There are four branches B1, B2, B3, B4, and at each bus there is a load of I drawn. So it is given that branches B1, B2, B3, B4 have impedances 4Z, Z, 2Z and 4Z per unit respectively. Okay, something like this is given, and it's also given Z equal to R plus JX, where R and X are positive, strictly positive. Has to be because they are impedances, of course. And it is given that the network is to operate with minimum loss. So network is to operate with minimum loss. Branch that should be opened is branch that should be opened. The options are A B1, B B2, C B3 and D B4. Okay, so let's start with the solution. Okay, so as the load, total load current drawn by the three buses is I plus I plus I, is 3I, so generator must be delivering 3I, right? Now let's find out or calculate the losses one by one by opening each of the branches. So open B1, copper loss is how much? Let's open B1. So the entire current will flow through like this, 3I, 2I, I. So total copper loss is how much? 3I into resistance of B2. Resistance of B2 is what? Z. Z is the impedance, so resistance is R. So 3I whole square into resistance of B2, which is R. Z, so R. Next, 2i times 2i whole square times resistance of b4 I square r. So 2i whole square times resistance of b4. 2i whole square times resistance of b4 is what? 4z. 4z means 4r. Next, resistance of I square times resistance of b3. Resistance of b3 is what? 2z. 2z is the impedance, so resistance is 2 into r. So how much? 9 plus 4 into 4, that is 16. Yeah, okay. 9 plus 4 into 4, 16, that is 25. 25 plus 2 is 27 I square. Now let's open the next branch, which is B2. So copper loss is how much? Let's join this back. Okay. So entire current will flow through this B1 if you open B2, applying KCL at this bus. So the current now will be 3i minus I, 2i minus I. So I. So copper loss will be how much? 3i whole square times resistance of B1. So what? 4. Z is the impedance. So resistance is 4 into R. Next, 2i square resistance of B3. 2i whole square times resistance of B3 is what? 2Z. That means 2R. And another one is I square times the resistance of B4 is what? 4Z. 4Z means 4R. So it is 9 into 4. That is 36. 36 plus 4 into 2. That is 44. Plus 4 is 48. Now let's open the next one, which is B3. Now let's join B2 back again. Okay. Let's open B3. You open B3, this current will become I, this current will become 2I. Okay. And this current direction, this current will change, simply reverse. So now the copper loss is how much? Let's calculate. कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं, आसान है वैसे तो कैलकुलेट क्या हो जाएगा? Let's do it in this way. So I square times resistance of B1 is how much? 4Z, that is 4R, plus 2I whole square times resistance of B2. B2 is how much? Z, that is R. Plus I square times resistance of B4 is how much? 4Z, that is 4 into R. So how much? 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. Now let's now the last part is opening B4. If you open B4, the copper loss will be how much? Let's join B3 back again. B3 फिर जोड़ देते हैं, B4 को खोल देते हैं, ठीक है ना? तो अब क्या होगा? इधर करंट I फ्लो करेगा, इधर फ्लो करेगा 2I, इधर फ्लो करेगा I. ठीक है, कुछ इस प्रकार होगा, something like this. Okay, so 2I whole square times resistance of B1 is how much? 4 into Z is 4R, plus the I square times resistance of B3 is how much? I square times 2Z, that is 2R. And for B2 it will be I square times resistance of B2, which is what? Z, that is R. So it will be 2I, that is 16 plus 218 plus 1, 19. सो वी कैन सी अमंग दिस 4 ऑप्शंस, इन चारों में से सबसे छोटा जो है मिनिमम लॉस होगा ये. सो द करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन विल बी सी. इट इज B3. B3 ब्रांच इज ओपन, द नेटवर्क विल ऑपरेट विथ मिनिमम लॉस. मिनिमम लॉस के साथ ऑपरेट करेगा अगर B3 को ओपन करें. सो बिट ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन, एक्चुअली बिट कैलकुलेटिव है. अगर 2 मार्क्स में पूछा जाना चाहिए था ये, 2 मार्क्स, बट anyway it's their choice how much marks they will allot for any particular question. तो ये था कुछ इसका सोल्यूशन. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अगले क्वेश्चन पर आगे बढ़ते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत काफ़ी अच्छा था. ये क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली थोड़ा ट्रिकी था, कैलकुलेशन वगैरह था, तो इसलिए मैंने रेड से इसको मार्क किया, सॉल्व किया. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पर आगे बढ़ते हैं, जो कि 34th नंबर क्वेश्चन है, एंड इट इज बेस्ड ऑन इकोनॉमिक लोड डिस्पैच. लेट्स लव दिस. So, next question. Question number 34 is the master question paper. Read well. It is already. I explained. So the question is as follows. The incremental cost curves are given for two generators A and B. Please draw the incremental cost curves. Something like this: 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. So this is generation in megawatt, and on the y-axis we have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, so on. Now the cost curves are incremental. Cost curves are given for the two generators. Is something like this, like this one. Yeah. So one of them starts from 8,000 at 0 and linear. No mistakes or inaccurate drawing. And another curve is given by is for generator A. Therefore, generator B is given as starts from 6,000 or as this point. Again, it is also linear. Okay, something like this. So incremental cost curves given. Cost curves given for generators A and B. Okay, so it is given in this question in a plant, and it is given incremental fuel cost of supplying the load, common load, supplying common load is given as rupees 7,400 per megawatt hour. So, we have to find what is the common load. The common load is so NAT type question, you want to answer type of 1 mark. Last question what we discussed was also 1 mark question, MCQ type. So okay, let's now the solution. Solve करते हैं इसको फटाफट, उसमें टाइम. Now it is given incremental fuel cost of supplying the common unit is dc by dp equal to rupees 7,500 per megawatt hour. Okay. Now we make the incremental cost curve equations for generator A and generator B as follows. Okay, like that, like the y-axis we have incremental IS, right? Rupees per megawatt hour. dc by dp A equal to is given as, then write the equation for generator A, cost incremental cost of generator A as, it will be 8,000 at 0. So 8,000 plus it will be 100, it will be 10,000 at 100. So 10,000 minus 8,000 by 100 into PA. Write like this, 1000 that is 8,000 plus 20 PA. Similarly for the generator B, you can write it as 6,000 plus 10,000 minus 6,000 by 100 into PB equal to 6,000 plus 40 PB. Now it is given that the incremental fuel cost is how much? 7,400. We can see, हम देख सकते हैं कि जनरेटर ए का जो कर्व है वो 6,000 से स्टार्ट हो गया है, जनरेटर बी का सॉरी, और जनरेटर ए का जो कर्व है वो 8,000 से स्टार्ट हो रहा है. तो इसको अगर 7,400 होना है सपोज, तो क्या होना पड़ेगा? पीए को नेगेटिव होना पड़ेगा, जो कि हो नहीं सकता. दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. पीए कांट बी नेगेटिव बिकॉज इट इज जनरेशन, इट हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव, राइट? And for this to be 7,400, so not possible. For this to 7,400 is 40 PB, so PB equal to 1,400 by 40. Yeah, so the only feasible solution, as I was discussing is PA equal to 0 because PA cannot be negative. For this to be true, this has to be negative, PA has to be negative. For this equation to be satisfied. So this is not satisfied for generator A, and for generator B the generation PB is 35, right? 35 होना पड़ेगा इसको, तब जाकर ये सेटिस्फाई होगा, मतलब इंक्रीमेंटल फ्यूल कॉस्ट 7,400 होगा. So the only feasible solution for this problem, given problem is that PA equal to 0 because it cannot be negative to satisfy this equation, and PB it has to be 35. So the common load is how much? Let's write it here. PA plus PB, right? Common load 35 megawatt. The answer for this question, quite tricky question, is 33. Tricky because it may not strike aspirants at the first attempt, because this is a kind of new kind of question. They may not have faced this kind of question before. थोड़ा सा नया अलग कॉन्सेप्ट या अलग थॉट प्रोसेस पर बेस्ड है. शायद ये उन्होंने पहले कभी सॉल्व इस तरह क्वेश्चन नहीं किया हो, तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी है. बाकी तो सॉल्वेबल था. इसका आंसर 35 होगा. एंड दिस इज द सोल्यूशन, डिटेल सोल्यूशन. हो गया ये क्वेश्चन भी. 1 मार्क का एनडी क्वेश्चन था. लास्ट क्वेश्चन 1 मार्क का एमसी क्वेश्चन था. आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. So next question, let's move on to the next question, which is question number 41 of 2 marks. Also quite tricky question, I would say. So let's also mark this with red. 41, question number 41, MCQ of 2 marks. 41 in master question paper. Question contains the single line diagram of a power system. Something like this. 3-bus power system. Bus 3, bus 2, bus 1. P1 is fed to bus 1 and P2 is fed to bus 2. Okay. The reactants are given as J alpha x, J beta x and J gamma x in ohms. Basically, it is given, it is a lossless power network. Question states this, mind it, such that voltage magnitudes as all of us are given as 1 per unit. That is V mod V1 equal to mod V2, mod V3 equal to 1 per unit. Okay. And differences in phase angle is very small. Delta delta nearly equal to 0. And line reactances are marked as alpha, beta. Line reactances are marked, already marked in the figure, and it's given that alpha, beta, and x are strictly positive, greater than 0. And P1, P2 are power injections at buses 1 and 2 respectively in per unit. Such that relation is given P1 equal to MP2. Also it is given that no real power flows from bus 1 to bus 2. That is real power from bus 1 to bus 2. P1 2, P2 1 equal to 0. So 4 statements, 4 equations are given, 4 relations are given between alpha, beta and gamma as follows. A is gamma equal to m beta, B is beta equal to m gamma, C is alpha equal to m gamma, और डी है अल्फा इक्वल टू एम बीटा. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन कुछ इस प्रकार है. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद सॉल्यूशन. ओके, सॉल्यूशन इसका ये ऐसा रहेगा. इट इज ऑलरेडी गिवन दैट P12 इक्वल टू P21 इक्वल टू 0. सो व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला P12? वोल्टेज मैग्नीट्यूड का प्रोडक्ट लेते हैं और फेज एंगल का डिफरेंस लेते हैं ना, और रिएक्टेंस से डिवाइड करते हैं. रिएक्टेंस बिटवीन बस 1 and bus 2 is alpha x and phase angle is how much? I mean, sine of the phase angle. For small phase angle, what we can write? Sine delta delta nearly equal to delta. Delta delta, as it is given, the delta delta is equal to nearly tends to 0. Nearly equal to 0 tends to 0. You can write this. ये हम लोग क्या लिख सकते हैं? V1 V2 delta 1 minus delta 2 by alpha x equal to 0, or delta 1 equal to delta 2. Simple. You write this. So the phase angles of bus 1 and 2 are equal. Now, as no real power flows between bus 1 to from bus 1 to bus 2 और vice versa, क्योंकि कोई रियल पावर फ्लो नहीं कर रहा और ये नेटवर्क पूरा लॉसलेस है, तो जो पावर बस 1 को फिट किया है P1 will flow through this reactance to bus 3, simply like this, and the power fed to bus 2 P2 will be also flowing through this reactance to bus 3. तो पूरा रियल पावर उधर ही फ्लो कर जाएगा, कोई लॉस तो है नहीं नेटवर्क में। तो जो P1 जो बस 1 से में इंजेक्ट किया जाएगा वो बस 3 में जाएगा, और P2 जो बस 2 में इंजेक्ट किया वो बस 3 में जाएगा। तो हम लोग ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, पावर फ्लो इक्वेशन लिख सकते हैं, बस 1 3 एंड 2 3 समथिंग एज P13 will be mod V1 mod V2 mod V3 by what is the reactance beta x into sine of delta 1 minus delta 3 equal to P1. There is no real power loss as it is given, and as no power flow is flowing from bus 1 to bus 2, so all the power flows through this reactance to bus 3. ठीक है ना, ऐसे लिख सकते हैं हम लोग। और दूसरे क्वेश्चन हम ये भी लिख सकते हैं कि P23 इक्वल टू, ओके, तो इसको और सिमिलर भी कर सकते हैं। V1 P2 1 दिया हुआ है, 1 1 ऑल आर 1, सो दिस and for small delta difference in phase angle you can write sin delta minus 1 delta minus delta 3 is nearly equal to delta 1 minus delta 3. इसको nearly equal to delta 1 minus delta 3 by beta x लिख सकते हैं कि नहीं? बिल्कुल लिख सकते हैं। सिमिलरली इसको लिख सकते हैं mod v2 mod v3 by gamma x is the reactance between bus 2 and bus 3 sin delta 2 minus delta 3, ये दोनों 1 है, these are both 1, sin delta 2 minus delta 3 is nearly equal to delta 2 minus delta 3, and this is also equal to P2, so P2 equal to delta 2 minus delta 3 by gamma x. Now from this relation we have delta 1 equal to delta 2, so we can write this delta 1 minus delta 3 by gamma x, okay. Now it is given that in the question that P1 equal to MP2, okay, so P1 equal to MP2, मतलब क्या हो गया, यहाँ से P1 का एक्सप्रेशन पुट करते हैं, डेल्टा 1 माइनस डेल्टा 3 बाई बीटा एक्स इक्वल टू m टाइम्स डेल्टा 1 माइनस डेल्टा 3, यहाँ से बाई गामा एक्स, डेल्टा 1 माइनस डेल्टा 3 कैंसिल हो गया, x x कैंसिल हो गया, क्या बचा, इसको इस तरफ ट्रांसपोज करते हैं, हम लोग मिल जाएगा, विल गेट गामा इक्वल टू m टाइम्स बीटा, pretty simple. So this is the required answer and this is the required expression that the question is looking for. तो इसका आंसर कुछ बहुत ही आसानी से हम लोग कर सकते हैं, मार्क A. So this was an MC question of 2 marks and the solution has been described in good detail. You can refer to it. तो इस प्रकार था solution. आशा करता हूँ समझ गए होंगे. I hope you have understood it. If you have any comments, you can write. You can, if any query or doubt, you can ask in comments. I will be glad to answer. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Moving to the next question. तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी 2 मार्क्स का है, थियोरेटिकल क्वेश्चन है, मतलब पार्टली बोल सकते हैं. द क्वेश्चन इज एज फॉलोज. This is an MSQ question related to two-phase voltages. In my opinion, the question is conceptually inconsistent because the options should not match, are not matching either. What it should actually be, जो होना चाहिए उससे मैच नहीं कर रहा ऑप्शंस. फिर भी क्वेश्चन को एक बार देखते हैं, एनालिसिस करते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा ठीक था क्वेश्चन, व्हाट टू से, a bit critical in my opinion, so let's solve it in blue. Okay, so question number 46 in the master question paper read by Gate Authority. The question is as follows. Two-phase network, टू फेज में नेटवर्क दिया हुआ है phase voltages are Vp and Vq given. Okay, and they are expressed in terms of what? Sequence voltages. As follows. Sequence voltage is V alpha and V beta. Question is written as something like this. Vp matrix form is given. This times V alpha and V beta. Okay. So the possible combinations of this. Okay, possibilities of this. This can be. What options are given? A is given as 1, 1, 1, minus 1. B is given as 1, 1, 1, 1. C is given as 1, 1, 1, 0. And D is given as 1, minus 1, 1, 1, and 1. So this is an MSQ question of 2 marks. So let's proceed to the solution. Solution पे आगे बढ़ते हैं. Solution will be pretty simple, but actually the options are not matching. In this case, positive sequence na. So we can write, let's say, one of possibility is taking Vp as the reference. So we can write what? V alpha plus Vp. Vp equal to V alpha plus V beta. ठीक है. पॉजिटिव सीक्वेंस में क्या होता है? टू फेज में क्या होता है? फेज वोल्टेज आर 90 डिग्री अपार्ट. In positive sequence what happens? The voltage P will lead voltage Q by 90 degrees. तो ये अगर Vp है तो ये Vq होगा. Vp लीड कर रहा है Vq को 90 डिग्री. और नेगेटिव सीक्वेंस में क्या होगा? इसका उल्टा. That's the opposite. And this. So negative sequence, this will be Vq and this will be Vp. Right. So Vp is written as V alpha plus beta, and Vq should be written as, for positive sequence what do we have to do? We have to rotate Vq by 90 degrees to obtain Vp. Or conversely we can say, inversely we can say, yeah, like that. So Vq, to obtain Vp, V alpha, you have to rotate Vq by 90 degrees. So whatever positive sequence component we have to rotate that by 90 degrees to align it with V alpha, that is the positive sequence component of Vp. So it will be J times, J means a rotation of 90 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, counterclockwise direction, ऐसे, like this. So J times V alpha, V beta नेगेटिव सीक्वेंस, नेगेटिव में क्या करेंगे? क्लॉकवाइज में जाएंगे 90 डिग्री, तो क्या हो जाएगा? माइनस जो हो जाएगा, ये J आएगा, माइनस जो हो जाएगा, तो Vp को Vq को Vp में अलाइन करने के लिए नेगेटिव सीक्वेंस को 90 डिग्री माइनस 90 से मल्टीप्लाई करना होगा. माइनस J टाइम्स V beta. This is one possibility, right? Another possibility is what? Let's say we are considering Vq as the reference. So it will be V alpha plus V beta. Okay. Now Vp को क्या लिख सकते हैं हम लोग? अब क्या करना पड़ेगा? Vp को अगर Vq से हमें ऑब्टेन करना है, हाँ, तो Vp का कंपोनेंट्स को हम लोग को 90 डिग्री पॉजिटिव सीक्वेंस अल्फा पॉजिटिव सीक्वेंस अगर ढूंढ करते तो Vp का कंपोनेंट्स को 90 डिग्री क्लॉकवाइज रोटेट करना पड़ेगा, उसको Vq के साथ का पॉजिटिव सीक्वेंस के साथ अलाइन करने के लिए you have to rotate the positive sequence component of Vp 90 degree clockwise to align it with positive sequence of component of Vq. So rotation of 90 degree in the clockwise direction implies minus j. So this will be minus j V alpha. And for in the negative sequence we have to get to get the negative sequence component of Vp from Vq. What do I have to do? Simply we have to rotate. Simply have to rotate Vp in the clockwise direction, sorry, anti-clockwise direction. So to rotate the component of Vp, negative sequence component of Vp anti-clockwise 90 degrees to align it with the negative sequence component of Vq. So an anti-clockwise or counterclockwise rotation 90 degrees we generate the term J. So we can write plus J times V beta, very similar to the earlier case. So these are the two equations. If we put in matrix form from this, we will obtain S as 1 1 and J minus G, and for this we will obtain S as, since Vp is written first as per this sequence, so the coefficient will be minus J, 1 and 1, and for this it will be 1 1 J and minus J. So these two are the correct कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ एस. ये मेरे हिसाब से ये दोनों होना चाहिए. ऑप्शंस में सही नहीं दिया है. ऑप्शंस में यहाँ अगर जे होता और यहाँ भी जे होता तब सही होता, और यहाँ भी जे होता तब यहाँ भी जे दिया हुआ है एज गिवन बाय गेट अथॉरिटी. द करेक्ट आंसर्स आर ए एंड डी, एंड दे हैव नॉट रिवाइज्ड द फाइनल आंसर की आल्सो. Surprisingly, they should have given marks to all because the coefficients are not exactly matching. It should be j and minus j here and minus j and j here. तो सही से मैच नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन फिर भी आई ने इसको कंसिडर नहीं किया है, और इसको जो पहले जो ऑप्शंस दिया गया था वही इसका रखा गया ए एंड डी. तो दिस वाज द एक्सप्लेनेशन फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. माय ओपिनियन द पॉसिबल कॉम्बिनेशंस ऑफ दिस विल बी दिस टू. सो वी आर डन विद दिस. नेक्स्ट मूव ऑन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अगले क्वेश्चन पे आगे बढ़ते हैं. और क्वेश्चन है, तो ये 2 मार्क्स का एमएसक्यू क्वेश्चन था. तो उसे ठीक ही था, लेकिन एक्चुअली कंसेप्चुअली इनकंसिस्टेंट है. ऑप्शंस मैच ही नहीं कर रहे इसमें. तो लेकिन आईडी का जो मान होगा, जो अथॉरिटी का जो मर्जी होगा वही चलेगा. एंड दे आर नॉट कंसिडर्ड इट, बट इट शुड बी अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड हियर. ठीक है, तो अगले क्वेश्चन पे आगे बढ़ते हैं. दिस इज अ थियोरेटिकल क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम ऑटोमेटिक जनरेशन कंट्रोल एएसी एंड ऑटोमेटिक वोल्टेज रेगुलेटर एवीआर. दिस क्वेश्चन, this question was in my opinion easy, but the basic concept of AVR and AJC will answer it easily. So I am answering it in green. Green indicates maybe easy, difficult level in this case. So automatic generation control, 4 statements are given. Stands for abbreviated as AGC and automatic voltage regulator. AVR. These are used when two or more generators are operated, maybe in parallel to supply a common load. So four options are statements are given with regard to AGC and AVR, which are as follows. चार ऑप्शन तो इस प्रकार है. AGC response as a local effect on frequency, while AVR response is a global effect. AGC response global effect on frequency, while AVR response is a local effect C. AGC regulates the field current of the synchronous generator while AVR regulates the generator's mechanical power input. And fourth option is AGC regulates the generators mechanical power input, while AVR regulates the field current. Of the synchronous generator. A pretty basic conceptual question, theoretical in fact. So MSQ of again 2 marks. तो चार ऑप्शन को इस पर पढ़ लेते हैं. एजीसी रिस्पांस लोकल इफेक्ट ऑन फ्रीक्वेंसी, एवीआर रिस्पांस ग्लोबल इफेक्ट, एजीसी रिस्पांस ग्लोबल इफेक्ट, एवीआर रिस्पांस ग्लोबल इफेक्ट, एजीसी रिस्पांस फील्ड करंट, रेगुलर फील्ड करंट, एवीआर रिस्पांस रेगुलर जनरेटर्स मैकेनिकल पावर इनपुट, एजीसी रिस्पांस regulates generator's mechanical power input, AVR regulates field current. Now we know AGC is automatic generation control. It controls the frequency by controlling the power input. Okay. AGC is related to power and AVR is related to voltage. Now in a power system, for high voltage power systems, we know that P is strongly coupled to delta and Q is strongly, B is coupled to Q, or P is strongly coupled to delta and Q is strongly coupled to V. Right? And F also. Okay. And Q, how it can be controlled? By regulating the field current. Okay. So P is strongly equal to delta and hence with related to frequency control, real power output, and in steady state we know Pm equal to P. So basically AGC what it does, it regulates this PM, mechanical power input, which in turn is equal to electrical power output in steady state. And this is dependent, in fact, related to frequency. So, AC regulates the generator's mechanical power input. And what does AVR do? What does AVR do? It regulates the voltage, terminal voltage, the excitation voltage of the generator. The excitation voltage depends on the field current. What it does, it regulates the field current. It regulates the field current, which in turn regulates the reactive power, which in turn regulates, and as the reactive power is strongly equal to voltage, it regulates the voltage. So this option is correct, as I have discussed. Next, which has a local effect and which is a global effect. We know voltage. Power system is local. I mean, it will be different for the different generators, right? Like there can be small difference in the terminal voltages. For different ratings, may have a difference in the terminal voltages. So it is this AVR has a local effect. It is only restricted or limited to the particular generator or a part of the excitation system of the generator, and it regulates the excitation voltage based on the field current. While AGC, what it does, it regulates the frequency of the power system. Frequency of the power system, as we know, it will be common for all the buses and all the generators. For throughout the power system, the droop or the deviation frequency will be very less. Restricted to 0.5% is allowed. So AGC will have a global response. The frequency is common to the entire power system. While AVR, what will have? Will have a local effect, because the voltage will be only restricted to the excitation. Voltage control will be only restricted to the excitation system of that particular generator. So AGC response has a global effect. Frequency and AVR response is a local effect. A particular generator, excitation system of the generator, and global effect on the frequency of the entire power system. So it is B. So the correct options for this question are B and D, जैसे मैंने बताया, डिस्कस किया. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ. लास्ट क्वेश्चन है पावर सिस्टम सब्जेक्ट से. 5 क्वेश्चन हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. छठा क्वेश्चन है 6th क्वेश्चन ऑफ 2 मार्क्स, एंड इट इज बेस्ड ऑन इक्वल एरिया क्राइटेरियन एंड स्विंग इक्वेशन. Equal the criterion only, you can say. So let's rub this and proceed to the next question. So next question, our last question in this series, in this video, and the paper also. It's also quite tricky, but also easy, bit calculative, but let's mark it in green only. Question is question number 56 in the master question paper. So as follows: single line diagram of a power system is given as generator bus. Transformer is there, lines are there connected to this bus. This is an infinite bus. This is line 1, this is line 2, this is generator bus. This bus is given in the single line diagram, and it is said that the power system is operating in stable equilibrium. Operating in stable equilibrium. That is, P out equal to P max sin delta. Okay. It is given that P mechanical input, mechanical power input is given as 0.5 P max. It is given that fault occurs on line 2. Somewhere fault occurs. So, and during the time of fault, P out is less than 0.5 pmax. That is less than P mechanical during fault. Okay. And after fault clears, gets cleared opening line 2. Fault cleared by opening line 2. It is given that P out equal to P max by root 2 sin delta. ये दिया हुआ है. And the critical clearing is also given as pi by 2 radians. So we need to find what is the accelerating power in terms of P max. It is how many times of P max to dismantle this. So basically it's an empty question of 2 marks. So these are the data. So let's proceed to solutions का देखते हैं कैसे करेंगे इसको. देखिए बहुत आसान है. इसके लिए हम लोग को पावर एंगल पी डेल्टा का ड्रॉ करना चाहिए. वो सबसे पहले करते हैं. Let's draw it from the pre-fault condition. Pre-fault it was say this. This was P max. This is P mechanical equal to 0.5 P max. Okay. Now fault होता है ये 30 डिग्री है. sin 30 होता है 0.5. ये डेल्टा है ये P है. P है. P ठीक है. Now fault occurs here at this point. So what happens? It is given during the fault P out is less than 0.5. So okay. So it reduces, na? Like this it happens. And the critical clearing happens at 90 degrees. And post fault it is P max by root 2 sin delta. Okay. So something like this it will be. So basically this is the accelerating power and this is the decelerating power. This is the area, right? Pretty simple. This point is 90 degree. Pi by 2 90 degrees. Okay. Basically you can write this. The decelerating power is the accelerating power. This is the during fault. Right, power angle curve. This is the post fault or after fault. Has got clear. And this is pre fault. Upper one. So we have always have pre fault is greater than post fault. Before it was operating stable equilibrium. Then the power delivered was the maximum, electrical power output was the maximum. Then it gets reduced during fault and again it gets restored to some higher value but not as pre-fault condition. These are the power angle curves, right? Quite clear from the diagram. So ठीक है. We are required to find what? P accelerating. P is equal to also equal to P decelerating. This angle is equal to this angle. This area is equal to this area by equal area criterion. Now during fault, okay, leave it. Post fault, post fault, what is the equation given? P out equal to P max by root 2 sin delta. Now to find this angle, right? This angle. What we have to do? We have to equate it to 0.5 P max, because at this point the peak value is what? P max by root 2. So P max by root 2 sin delta, and in the post fault condition this will be equal to 0.5 P max in the limiting condition to find out decelerating area. Okay. So max cancels. If we take to that side, we will get sin delta equal to 1 by root 2. Now delta will be in between 90 degree and 180 degree. So sin inverse 1 by root 2 is 45 degree, but to keep it in the range 190 to 180, we will have to take it delta equal to 180 minus sin inverse 1 by root 2. That is 180 minus 45 degree. That is 135 degree. So this angle is basically 135 degree. Now by equilibrium criterion, it becomes very simple. You have to find P accelerating, P ACC. We usually go to P decelerating. P decelerating you can find it easily as how? P decelerating will be nothing but this area you already know. P out, we will calculate minus 0.5. This area is what? P out minus 0.5 P max delta, and the limits of delta will be what? How much? 90 degree pi by 2 to 135 degrees 3 pi by 4. P out is what? P max by root 2 sin delta. We will put it in the next step. So P max pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. P max by root 2 sin delta minus 0.5 P max d delta. Let's integrate it. Very simple. Let's take sin delta integration is what? Minus cos delta. So P max, let's take it common. So minus 1 by root 2 cos delta pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Okay, and this will be what? 0.5 into delta pi by 2 to 3 pi by 4. Okay, let's put cos by 3 pi by 4 is what? Cos pi by 2 is 0. Cos 3 pi by 4 is minus 1 by root 2. So minus 1 by root 2 minus 1 by 2 will be half. So P max into 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 to minus 1 by root 2, it is half. And here it will be 3 pi by 4 minus pi by 2 is how much? 3 pi by 4 minus pi by 2, let's take 4 common and we'll see it's pi by 4, right? So pi by 4 times 0.5, so pi by 8. So P accelerating by P max will be what? 0.5 half minus pi by 8. So it will be 0.5 minus 3.14 by 8. This will be nearly equal to 0.11, correct, to 2 decimal places. So P accelerating by equal to P decelerating, we found P decelerating area corresponding to this region. We equated it to accelerating power by equilibrium criterion. Now we found the ratio of P accelerating by P max, which is what we are required to find. P accelerating is 0.11 times of P max. So the answer for this question will be 0.11, correct, to 2 decimal places. Right. So we have solved this question with ease by the use of equilibrium criterion and simple integration of power angle curve to obtain the decelerating power, which is equal to accelerating power by equilibrium criterion. तो इसका आंसर बहुत आसानी से हम लोग को मिल जाता है 0.11. तो ये था बेसिकली इस क्वेश्चन का सोल्यूशन, सिंपल सोल्यूशन। थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी था इसमें अच्छे से देखना था कि क्या पूछा गया है, नहीं तो इसमें भटकते रह जाते। यू हैव टू गेट you would get confused what to find in this question, and may have consumed your time. Question was not that calculated. The question, I mean, the calculation is pretty simple, one line or two line calculation only, but you have to figure out what is exactly need to be found, what the question actually demands. तो ये बस हम लोग को फिगर आउट करना था इस क्वेश्चन में। बाकी तो बहुत आसान है, मैंने जैसे मैंने दिखाया, थोड़ा सिंपल 2 लाइन की कैलकुलेशन से आसानी से 0.11 आ जाएगा। थोड़ा पावर एंगल कर्व का एनालिसिस करना आना चाहिए। इसके लिए वी हैव टू नो हाउ टू एनालाइज द पावर एंगल कर्व सो एज टू I mean simplify the condition given in the question and find the ratio of accelerating to area accelerating area corresponding to accelerating power T mass। इसका आंसर है 0.11। तो इसके साथ मैंने लगभग सब पूरा कवर कर लिया, पूरा डिस्कस कर लिया। 6 के 6 क्वेश्चंस, ऑल द 6 क्वेश्चंस आई हैव डिस्कवर्ड। पार्ट सिस्टम केम ऑफ 10 marks, 2 1 mark questions and 4 2 marks questions, so total 2 plus 8 10 marks, and I have discussed the solution to all the questions in quite good detail, showing all the steps. Please watch it carefully, and if you don't understand any step, please watch it again, review it, and still if you don't understand, please ask it in the comments, and I will try to the best of my ability to clear your doubt, clarify your doubt, and give you the explanation. I hope this video will be quite helpful to all the GATE electrical engineering aspirants, CE aspirants, as you will not find this kind of subject-wise solutions of previous years in any other channel as far as I know. So please support me by sharing the video if you really found it helpful, and also watching it fully, and also subscribe my channel if you haven't done it. So मेरी तरफ से यही कहना था। That was all from my side. Hope you have liked the video and found it really helpful in this series of GATE PYQ solutions. Hope to again return with more such useful videos on other subjects. Thank you.